What if the very efforts to enhance your appearance ended up destroying it? In the golden era of Hollywood, some of the era's most luminous stars gambled everything in pursuit of perfection, only to find themselves losing not just their natural beauty, but also their careers. This is a journey into the most startling plastic surgery failures that befell Hollywood's shining legends. In the earliest era of Hollywood, Mary Pickford stood as an unrivaled beacon of fame. Known affectionately as America's sweetheart, Pickford was much more than just a beloved actress. She was the world's first true cinematic superstar. Her golden curls and highly expressive face captivated audiences and defined the silent film age. However, as the film industry transitioned from silent films to talkies, Pickford made a critical decision that would ultimately overshadow her brilliant legacy. She opted for one of Hollywood's first celebrity facelifts. At the time, plastic surgery was far from the refined art it is today. Facelift procedures in the 1930s were crude and risky, resembling more of a brutal experiment than a precise craft. Surgeons lacked the advanced techniques to preserve muscle function or nerve integrity, often merely pulling the skin taut and stitching it without concern for natural expression. Unlike modern methods, these early surgeries frequently left patients with stiff faces, evident scars, and even permanent nerve damage. For Pickford, whose career thrived on her ability to convey deep emotion through silent expression, the results were devastating. Observers and colleagues noticed that her once animated and lively face had become unnaturally rigid. The subtle quivers in her lips and the sparkle that once lit her eyes were dimmed significantly. Later photographs reveal this startling transformation. The warmth that defined her smile was replaced by a waxy, constrained appearance. Hollywood rumors whispered that she had lost the ability to smile fully, a cruel twist of fate for an actress whose radiant joy had enchanted millions. Unlike the celebrities of today, who openly discuss cosmetic procedures, Pickford lived in a period when such interventions were cloaked in shame and secrecy. The botched surgery drove her to withdraw from public life. No longer the vivacious socialite who dominated Hollywood's elite circles, she retreated into reclusiveness, avoiding cameras and spotlight. The emotional impact was immense, with friends recounting her despair over losing the expressiveness that had made her legendary. Pickford's story is not one of vanity, but survival. At just 40, she faced an industry that was increasingly discarding silent film stars, especially women considered too old. Her decision to have the facelift was motivated by a desperate attempt to remain relevant in a ruthless business. Tragically, the surgery backfired, speeding the end of her career. Though she might have successfully transitioned into character roles like her rival Lillian Gish, the altered stiffness in her face deprived her of the ability to emote convincingly. Unlike the subtle tweaks modern stars might pursue, the Golden Age actress gambled on harsh, unrefined surgical methods that sometimes destroyed careers instead of preserving them. Mary Pickford's experience stands as a poignant reminder of the perils faced by early Hollywood icons striving to hold on to their beauty and, in turn, their very livelihoods. Hedy Lamarr, the ingenious icon. Hedy Lamarr's story is a striking blend of dazzling beauty and brilliant intellect, yet beneath her glamorous exterior lay a relentless struggle against Hollywood's ruthless obsession with youth and appearance. Celebrated widely as one of the most beautiful women in the world, Lamarr was also a pioneering inventor whose groundbreaking work on frequency hopping laid the foundation for technologies like Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. Despite her immense contributions, she became trapped by the very industry's superficial standards that prized her looks over her mind. During the 1940s, as Lamarr's star soared, studios typecast her as the exotic seductress, emphasizing her physical appeal while sidelining her intellect. This pigeonholing intensified the pressure to maintain an unblemished image, pushing her towards some of Hollywood's earliest and most dangerous cosmetic surgeries. The facelift procedures she underwent in the 1950s were crude, far from the refined techniques known today, often resulting in nerve damage, scarring, and a stiff, mask-like facial expression. Friends mourned the loss of her once expressive face, lamenting how her natural smiles became rigid and forced. Director Anatole Litvak famously remarked, "She doesn't look like Hedy Lamarr anymore. She looks like a mask." These surgeries were high-risk endeavors performed in an era when anesthesia was primitive and surgical methods involved aggressive skin pulls, causing permanent distortion of facial muscles. The physical toll was mirrored by immense psychological anguish. Lamarr, fearful of public scrutiny, retreated from the spotlight, becoming a virtual recluse in her later years. She famously barred mirrors from her home and avoided confrontations with her reflection, describing beauty as a curse she wished she could tear off like a mask. Her son revealed that she spent countless hours on the phone, yet shunned visual encounters with herself. Lamarr's downfall is especially tragic when framed against the backdrop of her intellectual accomplishments. During World War II, she co-invented a frequency-hopping torpedo guidance system intended to evade enemy jamming, a patent initially ignored by the U.S. Navy, who dismissed her as just a beautiful woman and urged her to sell war bonds instead. Decades later, her technology became a cornerstone of secure wireless communication, yet recognition eluded her until the 1990s. Even within Hollywood, few acknowledged the depth of her genius. Only notable exceptions like Howard Hughes, her former lover, supported her talents by providing a private lab where she could explore her inventive ideas. She also designed airplane wings inspired by nature, further underscoring her vast creativity. Unfortunately, Lamarr's personal life was tumultuous. Marked by 6 failed marriages, battles with addiction, and brushes with the law, her later years were marred by despair heightened by the exploitation and disregard she endured. Yet, posthumously, she has finally been honored for her pioneering spirit, being inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 2014 as a crucial figure in the development of modern wireless technology. Hedy Lamarr's life story lays bare Hollywood's hypocrisy, a world that celebrated her physical beauty while trivializing her mind. The very procedures meant to preserve her status as a timeless beauty instead robbed her of joy and authentic self-expression. As Mel Brooks wittily noted, she was a genius trapped in the body of a bombshell, a poignant reminder of the high cost of an industry obsessed with perfection at the expense of substance. Joan Crawford was the epitome of Hollywood glamour, a commanding presence whose fiery spirit and radiant beauty graced the silver screen for decades. Starting her career as a dancer, she rose to become one of the most formidable leading ladies of her time, relentlessly pursuing perfection both on and off the stage. Behind the dazzling facade, however, Crawford battled deeply personal fears about aging and the unforgiving obsession with youth that permeated the industry. Determined to maintain her youthful allure, she secretly underwent multiple cosmetic procedures, including facelifts and brow lifts, at a time when such interventions were cloaked in stigma and secrecy. Though these early surgeries initially softened the visible effects of time, repeated operations with limited medical knowledge often left her with visible scars, uneven skin texture, and overly tightened muscles. Where once her face had radiated warmth and vitality, these changes forged a sterner, more rigid expression. Her famously expressive features became less flexible, stripping away the subtle nuances that made her performances so captivating. The relentless scrutiny of gossip columns dissecting every wrinkle and facial shift only heightened her anxiety, fueling an obsession with perfection that led her to retreat from public appearances during recovery periods. Yet, Crawford never publicly acknowledged her cosmetic interventions. Instead, she attributed her youthful look to discipline, healthy living, and sheer determination, reflecting the era's stigma surrounding such procedures and adding to the mystique of her image. The emotional toll was profound. Crawford's story reveals a vulnerable side of a star whose iron will was ensnared by Hollywood's merciless demand for eternal youth. While the surgeries may have prolonged her career and preserved her glamorous status, they came at a steep physical and psychological price. Her journey foreshadowed modern discussions about the unrealistic beauty standards female performers continue to face today. Despite these struggles, Joan Crawford's legacy endures beyond her battles with age and appearance. She remains a towering figure in film history, admired for her resilience, talent, and unforgettable screen presence. Her life offers a poignant reminder that beneath the shimmering glamour of Hollywood lies a deeply human story, one of ambition, fear, and the relentless quest to remain forever young in an industry that often equated worth with fleeting beauty. Burt Lancaster, the reluctant sculptor. Burt Lancaster, celebrated for his athleticism and magnetic screen presence, was a quintessential leading man during Hollywood's golden era. Beneath his rugged exterior, however, Lancaster was acutely aware of the entertainment industry's relentless emphasis on youth and physical appearance. As the years passed, he encountered the unavoidable realities of aging in an industry that demanded perpetual vitality, prompting him to make personal choices that altered his outward look and, ultimately, his legacy. Lancaster's turn toward cosmetic enhancement was not born from vanity, but from a sense of necessity, an attempt to conform to the industry's unyielding standards. According to biographer Kate Buford, during the filming of the 1976 movie Star 1900 Star, Lancaster confided in director Bernardo Bertolucci that he had undergone significant work on his face, teeth, and body. He candidly remarked, "The most real thing on my face are my eyes," acknowledging the somewhat artificial nature of his appearance. Reports indicate that Lancaster underwent a facelift to counteract the visible signs of aging. Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Dr. Richard Fleming confirmed the procedure, noting that, "Without cosmetic surgery, gravity always wins." This intervention, while common among many of his peers, reflected the harsh pressure on male actors to preserve a youthful visage in Hollywood. Despite these physical alterations, Lancaster's performances remained compelling and resonant with audiences. His role in The Swimmer, 1968, where he portrayed a man journeying through his neighbor's swimming pools in a surreal attempt to reclaim lost youth, echoed his own internal struggle with aging and relevance in a business that prized appearance above all else. Lancaster's decision to embrace cosmetic procedures came with emotional challenges. The relentless demands of Hollywood's beauty standards forced him to confront a conflict between his self-image and the public persona crafted for the screen. His frank admission of these changes serves as a poignant example of the personal sacrifices actors make to sustain their careers in an unforgiving industry. Reflecting on Burt Lancaster's experience offers insight into the complex realities of aging within Hollywood's spotlight. His story underscores how societal expectations around appearance can profoundly impact individual identity and highlights the difficult balance between authenticity and appearance preservation. Both as a formidable actor and a man navigating the pressures of fame, Lancaster's legacy imparts valuable lessons about self-acceptance and the costs of chasing eternal youth on the silver screen. Marilyn Monroe, subtle enhancements behind the glamour. Marilyn Monroe's captivating charm was not solely the result of natural beauty, but also the product of carefully considered cosmetic enhancements that harmonized her features with Hollywood's exacting standards. While she projected an effortless, glamorous image, historical records and expert analyses reveal that Monroe underwent subtle procedures to refine her appearance. In the early 1950s, Monroe sought to enhance her facial contours, particularly through a chin augmentation using bovine cartilage. This delicate alteration helped define her jawline, contributing to the balanced and symmetrical visage that became her trademark. However, by 1958, this implant began to deteriorate, prompting Monroe to seek medical advice to address the ensuing deformity. In addition to chin work, Monroe is believed to have undergone rhinoplasty to finesse the shape of her nose. Early photographs from her youth as Norma Jean Baker display a slightly broader nose, whereas her Hollywood persona showcased a more sculpted, elegant nasal profile. Medical reports suggest a surgeon carefully narrowed the bridge and reshaped the tip, achieving a subtler, refined look. These procedures were not intended to erase her identity, but to align her appearance with the cinematic ideals prevalent at the time, a reflection of the pressures actresses faced to conform to narrow standards of beauty to secure roles and maintain prominence. Marilyn Monroe's story underscores the complex relationship between beauty and identity in the entertainment world. Her subtle enhancements played a crucial role in crafting the iconic image that enchanted audiences, but also highlighted the unrelenting demands placed on stars to embody perfection. Ultimately, Monroe's cosmetic choices revealed a nuanced balance between personal expression and the industry's rigid expectations during Hollywood's golden age. Mae West, known for her bold spirit and unapologetic sensuality, stood apart as a true trailblazer in early Hollywood. Born Mary Jane West in 1893, she captured audiences in the 1930s with her sharp wit and daring performances, effortlessly blending glamour with rebellion. Rather than turning to the rudimentary and risky plastic surgeries of her time, West took a different route to maintain her captivating look. In an era when cosmetic surgery was still in its infancy and fraught with danger, Mae West employed innovative beauty techniques that highlighted her natural allure. She was known to use coconut oil to keep her skin smooth and radiant, a simple yet effective method that helped her shine under Hollywood's unforgiving studio lights. To enhance her famously sultry smile, West cleverly inserted cotton between her upper lip and teeth, adding an impression of fullness that became a signature feature. Her commitment to image extended beyond skincare. West incorporated daily enemas into her routine, believing they contributed to her overall health and vitality, a practice that was unconventional but reflective of her unique approach to self-care. These inventive methods enabled West to defy the usual beauty standards of her time without submitting to the crude, often brutal plastic surgeries that so many of her contemporaries endured. Mae West's savvy understanding of the importance of appearance in the entertainment industry set her apart not only as a glamorous icon but also as a pioneer who reshaped the standards of Hollywood glamour on her own terms. Her legacy combines fearless individuality with a timeless elegance that continues to inspire. Marlene Dietrich, the glamour reinvented. Marlene Dietrich, born in Berlin in 1901, captivated audiences with her chameleon-like ability to transform on screen. Her breakout role in The Blue Angel, 1930, introduced the world to her enigmatic androgynous charm, a quality that set her apart in Hollywood's golden years. As Dietrich's career flourished, she became the epitome of elegance and sophistication, fiercely dedicated to preserving her image of glamour and perfection. At a time when cosmetic surgery was still rudimentary and fraught with risk, Dietrich took unconventional steps to maintain her youthful appearance. She reportedly utilized an early form of facelift known as the cut-in facelift, employing surgical tape to tighten her skin and create a taut, refreshed look. This inventive method, while far from the refined procedures of today, demonstrated her unwavering commitment to her public persona. Moreover, Dietrich is said to have undergone a painful removal of fat pads from her cheeks, accentuating her sharp cheekbones and sculpting the striking facial contours that became her signature. These drastic beauty measures highlighted the extraordinary lengths Dietrich went to in order to uphold her ethereal image amid Hollywood's relentless demands. Yet, despite the transformative effects of such treatments, her legacy extends far beyond mere physical appearance. Her outstanding performances in classics like Shanghai Express, 1932, and Witness for the Prosecution, 1957, reveal a depth of talent and versatility that transcended the superficial pressures she faced. Beyond her film career, Dietrich was a humanitarian who entertained Allied troops during World War II, earning the United States Medal of Freedom for her services. In her later life, she retreated from the spotlight, residing in Paris, but continuing to influence fashion and beauty standards from afar. Marlene Dietrich's life story stands as a poignant tribute to the sacrifices public figures endured to preserve their images and the complex dance between artifice and authenticity in the pursuit of glamour. Barbara Stanwyck, born Ruby Catherine Stevens on July 16, 1907, in Brooklyn, New York, stood as a formidable presence throughout Hollywood's golden era. Her expansive career, which spanned more than 6 decades, showcased her versatility across Broadway, film, and television. Renowned for her grounded and compelling performances, Stanwyck carved out a space that was defined by talent rather than mere physical allure. In an era when cosmetic procedures were becoming increasingly routine among actresses striving to preserve their youthful looks and conform to Hollywood's strict beauty ideals, Stanwyck chose a different path. She firmly rejected the notion of altering her appearance surgically, embracing natural aging with a steadfastness that was rare among her contemporaries. This decision allowed her to maintain an authenticity and relatability that resonated deeply with audiences. Despite consciously declining plastic surgery, Stanwyck could not escape the industry's unrelenting scrutiny. As she transitioned into television roles during the 1960s, she faced persistent pressure and criticism concerning her appearance. Nevertheless, her performances remained consistently powerful, proving that genuine talent transcends the ephemeral demands of superficial beauty. Barbara Stanwyck's story epitomizes resilience and individuality, illustrating a courageous defiance in an industry rife with conformity. Her unwavering choice to age gracefully, foregoing surgical intervention, highlights both the personal and professional challenges confronted by women in Hollywood. Ultimately, her enduring legacy attests to the power of embracing one's natural self amidst relentless external pressures. Lana Turner, famously known as the Sweater Girl, was one of Hollywood's most captivating actresses of the Golden Age. Born Julia Jean Turner on February 8, 1921, her discovery came at the tender age of 16, when she was spotted sipping a soda at a local drugstore in Hollywood. This moment launched a meteoric rise to fame, with her platinum blonde hair and sultry screen presence quickly capturing audiences' attention. Turner delivered memorable performances in classics such as The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1946, and Imitation of Life, 1959, solidifying her place among Hollywood's elite. As she grew older, Turner became increasingly concerned about preserving her youthful beauty, a common struggle for actresses under the relentless scrutiny of the industry. In her early 60s, she famously showed a photograph of herself at 27, to plastic surgeon drive Richard Allen Bowen, bluntly stating, "This is what I want to look like." This desire to recapture the freshness of her younger days led her to undergo various cosmetic procedures, including facelifts and other enhancements. While such surgeries were widespread among stars of the era, they were not without their risks. Facelifts carried potential complications such as hematomas, nerve injuries, infections, and even unnatural effects when excessive skin was removed or surgical technique was lacking. One common undesirable outcome was the windswept look, a tautness that seemed artificial and out of place. Though specific details of Turner's surgeries remain undisclosed, these associated hazards demonstrate that striving for beauty often imposed unforeseen consequences. Lana Turner's story illustrates the immense pressures faced by actresses to maintain an idealized image, sometimes at the cost of their health or natural appearance. Her journey reflects both the allure and the toll of Hollywood's unforgiving beauty standards during its golden age. Kim Novak, born Marilyn Pauline Novak in 1933, rose to stardom during the 1950s with memorable performances in films such as Vertigo, 1958, and Picnic, 1955. Known for her striking beauty, she was emblematic of Hollywood's ideal leading lady. However, as the relentless pressures of the entertainment industry mounted over the years, Novak found herself compelled to undergo cosmetic procedures to preserve her youthful appearance. In 2012, Novak chose to have fat injections in her face, hoping for a less invasive alternative to traditional facelifts. Unfortunately, She later regretted this decision profoundly, labeling it the stupidest thing she had done. The procedure altered her look in a way that drew public attention and criticism, especially during the 2014 Academy Awards, where she made a notable appearance as a presenter. Social media buzzed with comments on her changed appearance, generating widespread scrutiny. In response to the criticism, Novak penned an open letter explaining that she had taken a mild sedative before the event, which affected her comportment. More importantly, she emphasized resilience, urging people to stand up against bullies and not be defined by negative commentary. Moving away from the spotlight, Novak shifted her focus toward painting and other artistic pursuits, embracing personal growth and encouraging others to accept their true selves beyond superficial appearances. Kim Novak's experience highlights the emotional and public toll exacted by Hollywood's unforgiving beauty expectations. Her journey from regret to self-acceptance serves as a powerful testament to the complex relationship between identity and the pressures to conform to ever-changing standards of beauty. Ginger Rogers, born Virginia Catherine McMath on July 16, 1911, in Independence, Missouri, was a shining star of Hollywood's golden age. Famous for her unforgettable partnership with Fred Astaire in a series of iconic musicals during the 1930s and 1940s, Rogers captured hearts not only with her talents, but with her commitment to natural beauty. Unlike many of her contemporaries who turned to cosmetic surgery to preserve their youthful appearance, Rogers chose a different path. She maintained her radiant complexion and graceful allure through natural methods rooted in healthy living. A strict adherent to this philosophy, she avoided beauty salons and instead relied on home remedies. Among her preferred skincare treatments was the use of witch hazel, a natural astringent that helped keep her skin clear and fresh. Rogers also followed a simple skincare routine, applying a rich night cream to nourish her skin while she slept and cleansing her face in the mornings with an oil-based soap. Her dedication to holistic well-being extended beyond skincare. She kept an active lifestyle, playing tennis regularly to maintain her fitness and vitality. Her faith as a Christian Scientist profoundly influenced her attitudes toward health and beauty, leading her to reject medical interventions, including cosmetic surgery. This spiritual belief emphasized healing and wellness through natural means, which Rogers embraced fully throughout her life. By choosing to age gracefully and eschew artificial enhancements, Ginger Rogers stood as a testament to the power and beauty of natural aging. Her legacy endures not only through her remarkable performances, but as an emblem of authenticity and self-acceptance in an era when Hollywood increasingly demanded perfection through surgical means. Carole Lombard, the resilient star. Carole Lombard, born Jane Alice Peters on October 6, 1908, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, emerged as a prominent figure during Hollywood's golden age. Her early life was marked by significant challenges, including the loss of her father and a subsequent relocation to Los Angeles with her mother. At the age of 12, she was discovered by director Alan Dwan while playing baseball, leading to her film debut in A Perfect Crime, 1921. Though her initial roles were minor, Lombard soon signed with Fox Film Corporation, steadily building her career. In 1927, a severe car accident left Lombard with facial scars that threatened her burgeoning career. Despite the rudimentary nature of reconstructive surgery at the time, she underwent procedures that enabled her to continue acting, demonstrating remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. Renowned not only for her natural beauty, but also for her straightforward beauty regimen, Lombard emphasized cleanliness, proper skin care, and a balanced lifestyle. Her beauty routine involved practical applications such as using a blend of beige and flesh-tone powders, a natural rose shade of rouge, and pale rose lipstick during the day. For evenings, she opted for darker powder and heavier lipstick in carmine red, choosing to skip mascara and eye pencil in daytime outings to maintain a fresh appearance. In collaboration with famed makeup artist Max Factor in 1935, she shared these beauty secrets, underscoring the importance of gentle skin care and natural products. Lombard advocated for cleansing creams that absorbed deeply into the skin and highlighted the benefits of adequate sleep and hydration, recommending at least 7 glasses of water daily to serve as an internal cleanser. Her acting career flourished throughout the 1930s, with standout performances in screwball comedies such as 20th Century, 1934, My Man Godfrey, 1936, and Nothing Sacred, 1937. These roles showcased her comedic talent and earned her an Academy Award nomination. Off-screen, her personal life saw prominent relationships, including a marriage to actor William Powell in 1931, which ended amicably in 1933. She later wed Clark Gable in 1939, forming one of Hollywood's most beloved couples. Tragically, Lombard's life was cut short at the age of 33. On January 16, 1942, while returning from a successful war bond tour supporting the troops, she died in a plane crash. Her untimely death deeply affected Gable and the film community. In her honor, a Liberty ship was named after her. Carole Lombard's story reflects the resilience and grace that defined her, not only as a radiant star on screen, but as a woman who faced the harsh realities of Hollywood with strength and dignity. Gene Tierney, born on November 19, 1920, in Brooklyn, New York, was a captivating presence in Hollywood's golden age. Beginning her career as a debutante and model, she soon transitioned to Broadway before landing a contract with 20th Century Fox in 1940. Her breakthrough came with the 1944 film Laura, where she portrayed the enigmatic titular character, securing her place as one of cinema's most iconic actresses. Described as ethereal, Tierney's striking green eyes and flawless complexion became her trademarks. However, the pursuit of such perfection carried significant challenges. Hollywood's rigid and often unattainable beauty standards compelled actresses like Tierney to undergo various cosmetic treatments that were both painful and risky. These included ultraviolet light treatments aimed at eradicating freckles and painful electrolysis to remove unwanted hair, common practices reflecting an industry obsessed with appearance at the expense of health. Despite these pressures, Tierney maintained a relatively simple beauty regimen based on discipline and care. She emphasized the importance of a balanced diet, adequate rest, and sun avoidance to preserve her delicate complexion. In interviews, she often spoke candidly about how rest and nutrition were central to maintaining her allure. Gene Tierney's journey reveals the complexities faced by women in Hollywood, striving to uphold an idealized image while managing the physical and emotional tolls exacted by such demands. Her legacy remains one of timeless beauty, underscored by resilience amid the relentless scrutiny of the entertainment world. Errol Flynn, the dashing swashbuckler and the toll of excess. Born on June 20, 1909, in Battery Point, Tasmania, Harold Leslie Thompson Flynn became one of Hollywood's most charismatic figures during its golden era. Celebrated for his roles in swashbuckling adventures like Captain Blood, 1935, and The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938, Flynn's dashing looks and spirited performances made him an enduring icon. As his fame soared in the 1930s and 1940s, the relentless pressure to maintain a youthful and captivating appearance loomed large. While details about any cosmetic procedures Flynn may have undergone remain scarce, the industry's intense emphasis on physical beauty prompted many stars to seek enhancements to preserve their image. Beyond Hollywood's spotlight, Flynn led a turbulent personal life marked by indulgence and excess. His heavy drinking and numerous romantic affairs took a visible toll on his health and appearance over time. By the mid-1950s, the once youthful and vivacious Flynn exhibited signs of aging, such as a bloated face and graying hair. Despite these changes, Flynn continued to work, often portraying older, roguish characters that mirrored his off-screen persona. His story highlights the complex interplay between the desire to maintain a flawless image and the realities of a lifestyle marked by excess, a narrative that reveals the conflicting nature of fame and substance in old Hollywood. Clark Gable, famously known as the King of Hollywood, captivated audiences with his rugged charm and commanding presence on screen. Yet behind this iconic image lay a series of deliberate changes undertaken to align with Hollywood's stringent beauty standards. Early in his career, Gable faced challenges such as protruding ears and a high-pitched voice, traits considered less than ideal for a leading man in that era. Understanding the importance of appearance, he chose to undergo cosmetic procedures to enhance his look. In 1933, Gable had surgery to pin his ears closer to his head, correcting a feature that had previously subjected him to mockery. That same year, he also battled a severe gum infection that necessitated the removal of most of his teeth. These were subsequently replaced with dentures, which he wore throughout his career, a fact that, among other things, unfortunately contributed to his bad breath, as noted by several co-stars. These efforts highlight the profound pressures stars endured to conform to Hollywood's image ideals. While these physical alterations played a part in propelling Gable's success, they also reveal the heavy personal toll exacted by the relentless demand for a perfect appearance. Today, Clark Gable's legacy stands not only as a testament to his talent and magnetism, but also as a reflection of the evolving and often unforgiving standards of beauty in Golden Age Hollywood. The narratives of these Hollywood legends reveal the steep and often heartbreaking price paid in the pursuit of beauty and perfection during the Golden Age of cinema. From Mary Pickford's tragic loss of expressiveness after an early facelift, to Hedy Lamarr's painful struggle between her groundbreaking intellect and Hollywood's aging prejudices, from Joan Crawford's costly quest for eternal youth to Burt Lancaster's reluctant acceptance of cosmetic alteration, the stories showcase a persistent tension between appearance and identity. These cautionary tales illuminate how an industry obsessed with youth and looks frequently reduced immense talent to mere physicality, sometimes at the cost of personal happiness and career longevity. Their experiences invite us to reflect on the complex and sometimes devastating consequences of valuing surface beauty above all else in the unforgiving world of show business. If this deep dive into Hollywood's relentless pursuit of perfection and its costly consequences resonated with you, be sure to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Share this story with others who appreciate the untold struggles behind the glamour and shine.